What up, y'all? This is officially Blast Knows Best, episode 1. This is your girl, Nikita Blast Game, and I would like to introduce my lovely, sexy, amazing, wonderful husband,
What's up, y'all?
Antoine Blasting Game.
How y'all doing?
Um, Listen, for the record, y'all on our time, okay? So we just gonna leave it there, and we gonna get right to it. So we threw out a couple different topics. We're gonna get back to what blasting game blast knows best is. Give me 1 second. We're trying to catch y'all up real quick. We realized it's the 17th now. It's the 17th. But anyway, so we're trying to catch y'all up. We threw out a couple topics that I had a couple people contact me too about topics that they wanted us to discuss. But we threw out a couple topics, and the topic that got the most attention was women, the lack of respect that women have for men. Okay. Um,
And the other topic was, why do men or women date people that they don't like actually?
that part.
This, you know what I'm saying? So to give you a list of things, that's what it were. And those are the two topics that got the most traction. So those are the ones we're gonna touch on today.
So where do you think we should start first, right?
Mm, respect.
Respect.
RESPECT. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
What you mean like that?
Oh, I was just animating a little
Oh.
bit.
So, I think I'm trying to recap on that original recording
Well, go ahead,
and
babe.
what the discussion was.
This is what we do. Go over your notes, and I'll keep the people busy. Glass knows best. So basically, we're here. This is a relationship podcast.
Thank
That's
you.
the
See, that's what I'm
priority,
talking about.
and that's the main thing that we're going to be basically working on here. There's a lot of other things that we're going to talk about, but relationship between a married couple, two people that are in a happily marriage are the people that can give you the advice that you need. You know what I'm saying? So just keep tuning in. We just working this out. This is a test run, but we going and we doing what we gotta do.
Okay, wait.
But why don't women respect men? And there's a lot of reasons. And I can honestly say it's because of it's the world that we live in. Women are desensitized from men because if you think about it, the government doesn't keep the man in the home, so it's not nearly a necessity. It's like you get it. You special if you got it. You know, you blessed if you have a man in the home. And now we get to that point. It's like the government has removed the male from the home, so all of our women are self-empowered. They're protecting themselves. Survivor mode. You know what I'm saying? And when you're a woman in survivor mode, you don't need no man. What do you need a man for? You don't. So then you get these other men who wonder why she ain't got no respect because she never needed you or she was never taught to need you. It's just a myth in their mind. What you think?
Okay, because I've been a woman on both spectrums of having clearly a man and being that strong single, you know what I'm saying, black woman empowered. Okay, so from experience, I would say not I wouldn't say that it's like so politically like driven as far as like like I understand your points when you say the government and how they kept the men out the home and stuff like that, but I feel like it's a generational thing. It becomes a pattern. That's just like if I say something to you and then you go take what I said to somebody else. By the time it gets to 10 different people, what was said is like flipped so many different opinions about what it is that's being talked about. So by the time it gets to a pattern of a new generation and these different cycles, right? And then you get these women that's not used to first of all what a the representation of what a man is supposed to be. um I feel like most women don't really know how to deal with men, as far as not knowing, you know what I'm saying, not having a personal relationship with what a man is represented by. So, going back to the patterns. So, we create these different patterns, and over time, generations are being taught a certain way. And then now you having these mothers that don't know what a man is, the characters of a man. So they don't know how to, first of all, they can't teach a man how to be a man. And then what they don't know, they can't teach. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like having examples, most women don't have those examples of what a man is in their lives. So they can't even pass they, offspring off to a man to teach them how and what a man is supposed to be represented by. So, that's one view. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to women raising their sons, and I touched on this in that video that you know what I'm saying, that we put out, it's like when, and not to say nothing against, mothers trying to teach their sons and, doing the best they can, but sometimes a lack of knowledge can be more detrimental to raising children than we think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have the information, you doing the best that you can with the information that you have. So now, unknowingly, you teaching these kids the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so when it comes to like these males that's being raised by these single mothers, and then they develop these character traits of, and I said it and I'm standing on it, this feminine, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say feminine, I don't mean like woman. I mean like emotional, responsive, like not really knowing how to um listen, you know what I'm saying? And not being so reactive, you know. So I say all this to say, for me, I feel like it's a indirect um response to not being educated in certain things, as far as the representation of what a man, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Should be.
What not even should be. It's like what a man is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
in the eyes of like women, because when you say should, then you start thinking of individual expectations. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So, um,
Okay.
so like I said, me being a single mother, I've been guilty of not knowing certain things. Teaching my kids, thinking, I'm doing the best for them because it's the best that I know.
Mhm.
And then now having a strong representation of a man in the home, like reality of that is, huh, okay, I guess I didn't know as much as I thought I did, because you know what I'm saying? It take a strong person to admit when they done messed up or something that they did wrong, or to acknowledge a fault. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't do that.
Okay. Okay. So I have one question for you.
Okay.
I'm a movie guy. I watch movies. I'm a 90s baby as well. So I'm going to give you a history lesson. Not necessarily a history lesson, but basically, I was thinking about this movie. I believe it's called Boys in the Hood.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Oh.
Boys in the Hood. And basically, when you think about how that came to be, I believe Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, his mom, she sent him to live with his father.
Okay.
All right, so do I feel like some women, they feel like men aren't needed until the kids are too overwhelming, possibly. Like I felt like
Oh,
she
you saying
I
for the
felt
mother?
yeah, I
Okay.
felt like she had it under
Mm-hmm.
control
Until she wasn't in control
until they
anymore.
got hard, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna take you to your dad to teach you respect.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it that she feels like the dad can teach the kids respect, but the women don't respect the men? Have you ever thought about that?
That's a really good point, babe.
And I believe because it's I feel like sometimes women feel like the men are only there to teach the children and not lead them as well. So when you have these situations where the families are separated or it's like a split in the home, it's like
Mm-hmm.
we both got separate jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But your job is to teach respect. My job is to nurture. Who's to pick what job is what? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like in this world we living in where now we got a lot of deadbeat moms. Just like back in the day, we would hear about all of these deadbeat dads. So it's like the reverse are switching. Like you got used to have all of these manly men back in the day, and now you have these, you know, women that's about their business. And we got more and more men not in the home, as I mentioned earlier, because it's what we've dealt with. And me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with a father in the home. So I understand what it's like to have that and
Mm-hmm.
know the respect and know separate things because at the end of the day, whether you got a single parent household or both parents, life gets fucked up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I feel like the respect thing is a people thing and not necessarily a
Mm-hmm.
woman and man thing.
And to be honest, like I feel like that's what I was talking about, like the patterns, like when you start um things being taught to people and then the information being passed on to other people and then it becomes a pattern of behavior. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like excuse me, teaching, like when it comes to like teaching people, everybody has their own way of learning, right?
Hmm.
So you can even if, let's say, quote unquote, somebody's being taught something the correct way, right? Doesn't necessarily mean because they understand it that when it's time for them to pass the information along that they would articulate that information to another person and they'll receive it in the same manner.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I was agreeing with what you said as far as like individual people versus a collective because everybody has their own, you know what I'm saying, like understanding, but at the same time, everybody doesn't evolve at the same level either.
Hmm.
So that's what I was saying when we was, oh yeah, shout out to Chris. Much to discuss. Y'all go check Chris out.
Much to discuss. Chris the
Hmm.
boss, my man.
But that's what I was saying when I was talking to Chris about how, you know what I'm saying, it's levels of like evolving. So it might get to a point where, you know what I'm saying, like somebody might not be at that level yet. And then you pass on the information and basically the way that you teaching what it is, you know what I'm saying, is knowledge that's been taught to you. They not, it's like I'm not here yet. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So when it comes to women, I can honestly say, and this is me being guilty at some point in stage in my life, that women are easily influenced by, I want to use the correct word because I don't want to sound like offensive by saying this. Women are easily influenced by um I wouldn't say status because being also get influenced by status, but I'm saying like as far as like okay, I use this for example. You know how they have the man with the nice car versus the man driving the bucket. Women are more attracted to that nice car, those things, material things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me tell you about my Buick LeSabre. The trunk is full and the ride is smooth.
but I'm saying like men are more like um I don't care what you got, but I like how you look. Or even if they not that shallow. You know what I'm saying? It's like um I like how you dress. And then you got another level of men that's like more drawn to personality. And but
You
it's
gonna
like
fight for me?
right.
You loyal?
And then you got that right, that level of guy that's like, I don't care about none of that. Is
Is she
she
a
loyal?
freak? Is she a freak?
She-
Is she a freak?
what type of nasty shit you be doing?
Is she a freak?
But women are kind of like, don't get me wrong, you got them different levels of women too, but for the majority, it don't matter where it's the lowest like tier, where it's like ain't got a lick of sense. She gonna like that man with that nice car. And then you have the upper status female that got it all together, business, whatever. Woo, 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 woo. She ain't even looking at the bucket. She ain't even notice you over here. You know what I'm saying? And then she might notice the guy with the nice car. But in the same sense, like, be ready to compete with him at the same time. Like, okay, you got a nice car, I got a nice car too. But it's still kind of like, how can I say this? It's shallow way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
All that shit superficial.
And women have been programmed over time, those patterns that you the prize, you don't like the what's her name?
Simone Biles.
They drag this girl and her husband. Like, how y'all know he not the prize in their relationship?
I think he the prize.
And my I'm sorry. That was funny only because I know some they don't know. But anyways.
No. Go ahead.
But anyway. And I'm just saying, people don't think about that. People don't think about individuality, or they always view things as a collective, like as far as like I was saying, like status. You know what I'm saying? Like the women be like quick to hop on the man with the range or the whatever, whatever. I don't even see. I ain't one of them girls. I don't even know what's in right now because I'm more of the build. Like, can we build? Like, it don't matter where we start, but can we get better? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just my overall take as far as like the whole respect thing, as far as like why women don't respect men
Okay.
is because of that whole the shallow way of thinking, the material, you know what I'm saying, mindset.
Is it how our ancestors or those before us have presented?
No, I think it's the total opposite.
Okay.
I think it's the total opposite. I feel like, are you talking about in general? Or are you just saying like people of melanated color? Like where are we going with this?
In general.
In general, okay. So in general,
I'll give you an example. I'll take you back further when there was this excerpt clip of Trump, our president, head of our nation. There was a clip of him talking, and he was speaking on how women should be treated, and he basically was saying how you need to grab them by the whoop de whoop.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? And
mm-hmm.
that's what I mean is they not respect us because of how we present ourselves when we get to a certain level. how we act when we have something,
Mhm.
how we treat y'all when we, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When we feel like we're the prize.
Okay.
You understand?
Mhm.
Is that why, possibly?
Okay, so now we getting deep though, because you got to realize throughout history, women have always been the minority. It don't matter if it was like it wasn't color coordinated. It was like woman
Okay.
under my feet.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
So since we're talking about prizes and things of that nature, do you feel like Aisha Curry is the prize? If we're talking about respect and,
Mhm.
do you feel like what she does? And to give you our context, Aisha Curry is the wife of King Light Skin Stephen Curry. And basically, a lot of people would say that she's competing with her husband's success, which you mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
You know, what do you think? Do you feel like she's the prize
I'm
in
gonna
order to have that mindset of thinking that she has?
I'm gonna go back to the whole individuality. Okay. We don't know what go on in these people's house.
Fair.
That's just how I see it. At the end of the day, all this, the lights, the cameras, the in front of people might present one thing. But when the cameras are off and the lights are off, nobody really knows. And even if they give you a um explanation, it's still left to the imagination.
So is it safe to say that the husband may not be the great guy that everybody perceives him to be?
Very much so. But at the same time, it's also how you present your partner in the public. And
Okay.
that goes like a conversation me and you recently had about, and I'm real big on women respecting their husbands, especially in public. You know, and my reason for this is because, like I said, like I had to get a better understanding of men um, after, you know, having male children. And even with me thinking that I knew because I was raising these boys, like, oh, I know how men are. And like, nah, that ain't really, what that is. But things that I have learned as far as like um, difficult conversations and like I said, having to come to reality and accepting responsibility. Men don't, you know, like respect is something that's very important to men. Not to say that it's any less, important to women, but men like it's on a whole nother level, especially when you're dealing with women. You know what I'm saying? So, um, how you how you treat your husband or your, you know what I'm saying, your man or whatever in the public says a lot about your character. So, going back to what you said, I feel like no matter who he is as an individual, it still shows her character the way that she represents him. I say that.
Do you feel like by this time that is maybe innocence? Maybe she's oblivious to what's going on. Maybe she doesn't keep up with the media or don't think about what people say. Mm.
I don't think that. I don't think that because if that would be true, then she wouldn't be so desperate for this attention that she feels like she's not getting. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
that goes to what we was talking about competing with your partner. Like
Can I say this? I want
Mhm.
to say one thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Me and my wife, we have an amazing thing going on. But don't let that stop her from being the dope person that she is. If my wife is supposed to have all of the shit that she has and that she's receiving, me being married to her shouldn't stop it, right?
At all.
So I just feel like a lot of women need to take accountability. You're gonna be a mom, you're gonna be a wife, but you can still be you.
And that was something that I did not like.
Okay.
That she said, I never thought I would be a mother. Like I didn't have plans on having children, and you know, I didn't see myself being a wife. Like da 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 da. It sounds like you resent the life that you chose for yourself, and that goes to what you just said. Taking accountability, like understanding that you chose these things.
You did that shit too.
You did that. But because you regret the decision that you made should not reflect how you publicly represent your husband. And that's just my strong and honest opinion. How you
So
feel
so
about
there's no chance that Steph Curry can have a little Ike in him.
that? Wait, look, I didn't think you was gonna take it that far. um,
I ain't giving her no excuses.
no, listen, and this is my thing. For her to be as opinionated as she is, you know what I'm saying, and not really care about um how how she's being viewed in the way that she's representing her husband to the public, I highly doubt that.
Because I was thinking about it,
Because
and
that would be that attention, that green light for that attention that she begging for, and for her to play the victim and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I sacrificed my life for this man and da 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 da.
because I realized, like, when I think about it, where people say the things that they say,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about she was a lot of when she spoke on her matters of her not wanting to be a mom and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
is who she was saying these things to,
Mm-hmm.
and she was speaking to another woman who in the public eye has been known to be compared to her husband,
Mm-hmm.
Jada Pinkett
Mm-hmm.
Smith, and she was saying how she could relate to her so
Of
much,
course you can.
and I just understand. Do you understand that parallel?
Me personally, no, because I'm a realist. I'm not gonna pat you on the back to make you feel better about your situation. I'm gonna be 100, whether you like it or not. Don't come on my show asking me no questions or telling me nothing that you feel is right and asking me what my opinions are, because I'm gonna keep it a buck 10. But I understand how that dynamic was relatable. Me personally, I don't relate to that.
Hmm.
I feel like had there been a male interviewing her, that conversation would have went completely different.
Hmm.
I feel like
Do
um
you feel like she's allowed to have male interviews? Has she ever been interviewed by a male? Do you know?
I'm not sure because I don't really like I haven't really kept up with this lady other than like like I understand the media can paint you in a light, you know what I'm saying, as far as, but like it's one thing for people to say things about you, and it's another thing for you to let certain things come out your own mouth and then let other people judge you. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Like when you're in the public eye and you're married to somebody that's big, it's like
Mhm.
you're you're bound to be compared to
Mhm.
other people.
Right.
And she's an NBA wife.
Right.
Like just like LeBron James' wife. She's
Mhm.
coming into fame now because of who she is and how she handles herself.
Mhm. And
And
now
they
she
say,
got what, two sons? That's
yeah,
like
yeah,
right.
NBA.
Mhm.
And you just now hearing her voice after the children are grown.
Mhm.
So it's like it's the same, but it's different
Mhm.
because it's a way how to carry your family. And
And you know what? To be 100, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like she's the best representation of how you handle stuff like that, because if you really rocking with your man like that, as many little scandalous little, you know, reports and stuff that ain't been said about her husband. You ain't never heard her run to no platform and be like, "Oh yeah, cause yeah, he had me messed up, and I ain't like this." Woo, 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 woo. That's something you and your man talk to y'all therapist about. Like, you don't run to the. And I said this on Chris' show. It's a different level of disrespect when you take your personal issues with your partner to the internet, because it's something that can't be taken back. Somebody can dig that shit up 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now and be like, "No, you said that." And you might not even feel that way no more. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But I did want to go back to, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just like riding for Team Light Skin, because, you know, clearly, or a day. But I will say this: is she completely wrong? We don't know. We don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm stating my opinion on the information that I have from the conversation that I've seen. And it's just, I stand very strong on my values when it comes to how you represent a partner in the public. And it's like, she ain't she ain't really mark off none of them boxes for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, this kind of rolls into the second topic.
Okay, so we basically, my wife asked me a while ago, we had a conversation about what are the reasons or why exactly do men date women that they don't like? And this conversation can go universally because it happens with all human beings. We have situations where women are dealing with men for opportunity. We have men doing the same. So,
I was laughing because I was looking at our notes and I was laughing at some of the, like, the
mhm,
edits that you put on the notes. I
okay,
said, "Oh yeah, my baby feel real strongly about that."
okay,
Okay, so you want to go over the why people date other people they don't like?
okay. There's many different reasons why they would. Me being a man, I can honestly say, uh, status would be the first one for me that I would say. Status, or just, you know,
Opportunity.
what someone would get from this.
Hmm.
Not necessarily this is a good vibe. I'm rocking with this. You know what I'm saying? You got my back, I got yours. It's more so okay. That's a lit situation right there. That's gonna put me in this situation, or it's gonna get me in them rooms, or I'm gonna get noticed by this set of people.
And can I
See,
before you go to the next? Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish. I was just saying before you go to the next
I have a perfect
highlight.
example I can use. All right, one of the kings of rap, Jay Z. He was the man when it came to certain things about hip hop, certain things about American culture, but he could never hit certain rooms until he had Beyonce. It ain't necessarily her,
Hmm.
but it's about that star power. You need
Hmm.
something to add to it. You just a playboy bachelor street guy.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We can't really take you serious, but if you's a elevating black man, businessman, you know what I'm saying? You got a family you building, you got an empire you working on. Maybe we can do something for you. You know, a lot of people. That's an example. That's just one example. Status elevation. You know, would you like to input before I go to the next thing?
The only thing I was gonna say is, in those type of situations, people more likely stay in those situations unhappy because they are looking to gain something. So you like you were saying, how people don't
Mm-hmm.
really, try to get to know those people, or to try to, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They really 9 times out of 10 miserable just sticking around just to see if something gonna pop You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then whether, like if there's an opportunity that presents itself and it's beneficial, then okay, I might stick around a little longer.
Mhm.
But they might stick around and be like, oh well, yeah, ain't really nothing, I can gain from this. So toodles. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. You cool?
Yeah, it was sounded like so. I know this mosquito been in here. I thought I
Mhm.
got him, but go ahead, babe.
Yeah. Another point would be, I would say, typically for males and females as well, I could say ego would be another. You know, coming up in the hood and the urban areas of Flint, Michigan, uh, the kids that I grew up around, we people jumped off the porch early. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, ego will get you to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what they saying, everything what they saying. It could be on account of it could be on account of like this is one common thing. Bets, ego. Like I can you'll be surprised how many of you women were bet. Vice versa with men too. Some of y'all was bets, but like I said, it's an ego thing. That's the reason. Like they didn't really want you. They just bet it. Somebody made a bet.
I feel like women more so it's a challenge for themselves when you say as far as like a bet. I feel um like when women are in pursuit of like guys, I don't feel like it's more or less like a conversation being had. Like, yeah, I bet you I could get you. Don't get me wrong, it might be some, but I'm saying for the majority, it's like a inner thing. Like, cause a lot of women deal with insecurities, and you know what I'm saying. Especially as far as like dating and the type of men that they can attract, and you know what I'm saying. Um, and I feel like for women, it's more or less like, well, let me see if I can. You know what I'm saying? Or
Challenging
I'm
themselves.
right. Challenge more challenges for themselves to prove something within themselves that they're worthy. You know what I'm saying?
Because man is quick to tell you can't do something. And a lot of times when it come to men, it's like, nigga, I bet you can't fuck that bitch. Nigga, what? What? I bet I fuck her first. You know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop. Nigga, put money on it. Nigga, put money down.
We're
It
gonna have to
it it
bleep
seemed
this.
it seemed uh
Go ahead.
excuse me, but that's just sometimes how it plays out. And it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be that verbiage, but
Mhm.
in the matter of a
Mhm.
challenge. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like some of you
Mhm.
women were that,
Mhm.
like someone told a guy that he didn't have a chance with you, and that was his only reason for even approaching you. Because somebody told him he couldn't do something. You know what? That's my family was kind of built on this type of stuff.
Mhm.
Families were built on bets.
Mhm.
But that's another conversation for another
Mhm.
day.
Yep, we definitely gonna talk about that one, but
All right, other reasons
Mhm.
I would say, family influence.
Mhm. Yep,
Family
definitely.
influence is a good one because a lot of people don't understand that we don't necessarily always do what we say, but how we raise means something to a person.
Mhm.
Even if I don't do everything that I was told, even if my family is dysfunctional, my family influence had well, not me personally, but a family would have an influence on someone.
Mhm.
You know,
And that's why I don't really agree with the whole term family values. Like, mm, I understand it. Like, if it's a positive thing, if it's something that's like motivation, inspiration, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things that's more uplifting and more, appeasing to, um, like, the development of like you growing.
like we come up in a culture. Excuse me to
Go
cut your
ahead, babe.
knowledge, but we come up in a culture where people brag on how fine their kids are. And it's like they get ready to crossbreed before they're even 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, look at my son, he's so handsome. Look at my son, he's so
Mhm.
handsome. He gonna have all of the whoop whoop. All of the women's gonna be following my son, and he gonna be a lady killer.
And then they 14, 15 in the bathroom like this.
Yeah,
No, they
staring at
got something to
themselves.
say. Like, you
Or
did it. You did
or if you ain't got your eyes on them, they somewhere in an abandoned house
it.
with these women that you claimed that they was gonna be stealing all of it. Yeah. Keep your eyes on them. But what we said is parents do it to the kids, the families do it. Like it's just I see so many times where say you dating somebody and you get pregnant. Now all of a sudden, it's either gonna go one way. They're gonna have you get rid of the kid, force you to try to get rid of the kid, or they're gonna make y'all stay together, even if it's some shit that they know ain't gonna work. Family influence. It's a bunch of this goes on in the world. It's so
Definitely.
common. It's so common.
And then they'll contradict themselves because they'll be like, oh, well, y'all got a kid. Y'all need to try to work it out. And then as soon as everything go bad, like, I told y'all ain't need to be together no way. And da 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 da. And then you turn around and grow up one day and then you hopefully start thinking for yourself and then you realize like, oh my God, this has been all conditioning. I cannot believe I've been out here making decisions based off of all these other people's opinions.
Mental conditioning. That's the word that I really wanted to use. Outside of family influence, mental conditioning
Okay.
is another reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that about wraps it up for the reasons. But it's so many reasons why people do the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? We they call it running in motion. You ain't going nowhere, but you're just taking up space
Running in
until you
place.
running in place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Until you get to the next, like tadpole jumping from rock to leaf to leaf, trying to get to the next opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about that yourself. You know.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about the drawbacks of it now, of why people date other
Okay.
people they don't like.
All right. So okay. So it's a lot of reasons. Well, pros and cons to it, but drawbacks from being with somebody that you don't like is one, unfulfillment. It's like if you just take enough space in somebody's life, it's a chance y'all don't got the same values. You unhappy. You just dealing with somebody just because you don't want to be alone or you got this interior motive that whatever it is that you have, but you can't be happy with this person because y'all are not yoked. Y'all not aligned. This ain't what you actually want. It's just what you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of role playing and a lot of fake relationships that's just out here. And when people learn how to be real with themselves, we'll move forward. But what's another drawback? Right?
Well, you kind of touched on that one, the values that don't align. Um, what's that? Never ending conflict. Oh, never hitting plateaus.
Okay, so basically, drawbacks are you get to a point where you're just going in a straight line. It's unfortunate because a lot of couples in the past they'll be married for a long time and they were only married because of what we said, influence.
I'm
So
sorry.
basically, it's
I said that one, but go ahead.
it's a plateau of no growth. You just getting along, just getting by, just moving. You know what I'm saying? Making money to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Making money to buy food, do whatever you gotta do, but you're not living. You just surviving. And that's a drawback because you can't live life. You know what I'm saying? If you're not actually going after it. And when you take time wasting your life with somebody that you ain't supposed to be with, you never become what you're supposed to be.
So, um, you want to introduce the segment that we created?
You might as well go ahead and get to it.
Oh. Okay, so we created a segment on the show where we discuss um, trending topics that are happening like on online or like in the media or social media, whatever. So, just off the top of my head, because we was talking on we was kind of talking about discussing one of them earlier was the No Limit versus
Cash Money.
Cash Money.
Okay.
You want to talk about that one, and then I was gonna say I can search while we still
Okay.
discussing it.
So Timberland and Swiss Beats, they're getting ready to do one more concert, extravagant verses, you know. And if you're a '90s baby like me, you know about No Limit, you know about Cash Money. Two phenomenal groups. They both somewhat had an impact on my life. Both from the South, both from New Orleans. You know, uh, two different sounds, but two heavy sounds. You know, me,
Excuse me.
a lot of kids like me, a Libra baby. I wanted to be like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, we listened to all of that. But I feel like it started with Master P. Master P was one of those first guys.
Definitely the
And
growth.
they putting basically it's Cash Money, Birdman and Cash Money and all of the Hot Boys verses. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Master P, Mystical,
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg, his whole Silk the Shocker, Lil Romeo, you know, Mia X. They had a different sound. But the sounds was very heavy.
Mhm.
So basically, how I think it's gonna go, it's hard because it's like, what are you going for? Like Snoop Dogg is on No Limit. You know what I'm saying? But and he came at the peak of their sound, but is he enough? Is he gonna be enough for all of those records?
Mhm.
Cash Money got a lot of records.
So, is it safe to say that he kind of helped push No Limit into that like top little popular?
He helped push No Limit to a different stratosphere, but No Limit was already No Limit when he came.
Mhm.
They did him the favor.
You think so?
Yes,
I feel like, and see, that's where.
they did him the favor.
But I'm saying though, you gotta understand, Death Row was something different.
When
That.
No Limit got Death Row,
Mhm.
Master P was the biggest shit,
Mhm.
and Death Row was struggling.
Okay, but is it safe to say they time just kind of passed because of all of the conflict that was created within that label?
I don't think it's that. It's just everybody had a time, and
Mhm.
basically, they artists, the main artists that they had, wanted to be somewhere else. You know,
Mhm.
shout out to Snoop for having Death Row now, but at that time, he had to go in order to be a better version of himself.
Mhm.
But do I feel like Snoop Dogg is going to impact the verses in a way where it changes the score? No, because he only had one dope record with them. So
But I'm saying though, you were saying like he come with a whole catalog of his own prior to joining No Limit.
yes,
So what I'm saying is,
it's not a Death Row versus.
I'm not saying Death Row.
Yeah,
What I'm saying is he can only contribute that one, you know what I'm saying, in order to help push that. When I said did Snoop help elevate No Limit as far as like
the
his
label.
his his stardom, his popularity when he came.
How about this?
I feel like I know you said No Limit was already No Limit, but I feel like it was kind of like a give and take in that situation.
I say,
I could be wrong, like I said.
I say right now, the most influential rappers in the world are of all time are Big, Tupac, LL Cool J, Snoop Dogg. And right now, Snoop Dogg is the biggest rapper in the world. At that time, Snoop Dogg was not the
You
biggest
saying
rapper
as
in the
far as
world.
like catalog, or you saying like popularity? What you mean?
Popularity,
Oh, okay,
not music.
okay.
Man,
Hmm.
person.
I don't know though, cause Snoop had some little
Snoop is the most popular.
controversy surrounding him too. At the same time, like everybody, it's not always like publicized as far as like the people that don't really rock with him like that because he at a certain level now where it's like you could drown out all the noise.
Hmm.
But like I said, I done been out that way. I done moved around in them areas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's not to say that the West Coast don't really mess with Snoop like that, but it's a lot more people that don't mess with him than a lot of people think.
Okay, but the world is just bigger than America. So when we talking
You
about
right. You
popularity,
right. You right.
Snoop
You
Dogg got
are one
Snoop
hundred
Dogg.
percent right.
Snoop Dogg got Russia.
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg got Japan. Snoop Dogg has all of Asia, really.
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg has Africa.
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg has America. Snoop
Okay.
Dogg has every country
Okay.
where
So
rap is
so
broadcasted.
do you feel like Snoop is bigger than the program when it comes to No Limit though? Because does Africa have?
And that's all
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying. And that's
saying?
all I'm saying.
So that's what I was saying
At
when
that
I said, do Snoop kind of help push No Limit with the verses with the popularity?
only now.
Hmm. You
But if
saying back then
yeah,
he
but
did?
if we talking back then, Snoop Dogg was just another one of them. But
Okay, that's
now
fair.
Snoop Dogg is what they need just to keep the eyes on them.
Mhm.
You don't get me wrong. Master P whole catalog
Mhm.
alone by himself is gonna
Mhm.
keep them in that fight.
Mhm.
Silk Shocker, even though a lot of people's opinion is that he was a terrible rapper, but Silk the Shocker got one of the best albums ever. And a lot of people won't know because his delivery wasn't what.
Mhm.
But if I guarantee y'all, listen to Silk the Shocker right now. His music won't sound too different from what the Flint guys are putting out, and I love Flint because that's where I'm from. I know the
Mhm.
sound, but Silk the Shocker sound was basically our sound now.
And I'm gonna keep it a book. The Flint artist that's just recently starting to come up. Those are the artists that I rock with. The ones that the world know right now from Flint, yeah, not my cup of tea. I'm gonna just keep it a book
Shout out to RLSGKD.
all day, all day,
But yeah,
and we'll have that conversation another time too, because that kind of coincide with you know what I'm saying. Why I don't really. But anywho's, um, so we talked about the verses. What else was we talking about as far as like what they said? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. This segment is called What They Said. What they said. They said what they said, babe. There's a whole lot of stuff going on being said right now, but I don't know if we want to talk about certain topics. What you think, babe?
mm,
Is there certain topics that you don't want to discuss? What you think?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Forgive me, fans. My mind is all over the place right now.
So as far as is there any verses that you think like that we haven't seen that you feel like you would like to see that haven't been put together yet? Because I think me and you discussed that one too before.
Only verse that I probably would like to see is Chris Brown versus
They keep saying Usher, but I
no
don't think that I don't feel like that's part of
Chris
the same.
Brown versus Beyonce. Hmm.
I understand why you said it, but it just sounds crazy hearing it.
It can sound crazy all you want, but you throw that boy playlist on, you ain't got to turn it off.
but you know what though? To be honest, I skip past more Beyonce songs than I do Chris Brown, and that's just me keeping a book. I need to let y'all know right now. I am a totally different personality than what y'all used to, because I'm not gonna agree with what the masses say. I'm sorry, y'all love Beyonce. I ain't saying that. I don't know, sis. I can't just roll with the punches, because like maybe if I was to ever meet her one day and her personality won me over, like, oh my god, I love Beyonce, then maybe I can say that. But as far as like, like musical, like, I feel like she's like any other artist. And when it comes to people trying to put artists on this like pedestal, like, don't get me wrong, the only artist that I've ever feel has touched that pedestal that I would ever say is up there is Mike. And that's a level that some people just never gonna reach. And I said some people. It might be a child somewhere being created that may get there one day. But as far as, yeah,
I think Chris Brown is that person.
you think so? You
Yes.
think he'll take Beyonce?
Yes. The Beyonce got 20 records by herself. She probably do. Beyonce got a lot of nice songs, but
I feel like
Chris dropping 20,
I feel
40, a project, and all of it's good.
I feel like the only reason why Beyonce has reached that level of solo artist,
What we was talking about earlier,
yes, hmm
the opportunity shit.
hmm
Like, it was an opportunity for Beyonce. It was an opportunity for Hov.
and not only that though, she had already reached a certain level with the Destiny's Child, so it was kind of her boost to get. So to be honest, you can't really compare her and Chris Brown, because Chris Brown started off by himself, probably roughly around the same age as Beyonce when she started.
Ain't no Chris Brown. Y'all gotta forgive me. I rock with Chris Brown. He's the only light skinned nigga I'm rocking with.
And I'm just saying that to be a realist though, because like we knew Beyonce from Destiny's Child. They reached a certain level as a group, and all the controversy of all of the different members being switched out, you know what I'm saying? Um kind of kept the interest going, and like I said, all them little uh what's it called, like little magazine articles when we was young, and they was talking about all the behind the scenes tea we didn't get to see, and so it kind of kept our interest. But once she actually crossed over to her solo career, like, I feel like you said, that first little initial push, it wasn't like received well until now you got that whole what they call it, couple goals. Now you can, both of these worlds have collided and created something whole, completely new. And now, that's what people like, new, fresh, something, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to just keep listening to the same old. And then it came with a story. She was part of this world. He was part of that world. They came together, created a new world, and now they got something to talk about. So, just my opinion. I feel like Chris Brown kind of, you know, is a step above Beyonce. That's just my opinion. And I feel like the only reason why he don't get that recognition is because of the
Rihanna scandal, which stems
controversy,
which stems down from Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So there's that, and we ain't gonna go. We can. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. We gonna have a whole lot of conversations with y'all.
Matter of fact, let us cut this convo before they cut our channel.
Cause it was dropping an F-bomb. Like, once it slipped out the first time, it was just like do.
Maybe we should have went over the rules before we started this shit.
I mean,
what I can't say.
I mean, like I said, they do the updates like so often.
We hour in.
Oh well. Y'all know by the morning. But did we cover everything, babe?
We're just gonna wrap it up for now.
Okay, babe. for
We got more coming for y'all.
definitely got more
We're
coming.
just gonna take a quick break and we be right back with y'all with Blast Knows Best.
Y'all go subscribe to Blast Knows Best on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
You look good, girl.
Follow us on TikTok.
Go ahead, finish
But
the drop.
anyways,
Blast Knows Best. We about to get up out of here. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of that. We about to have it all going. So
all that we taking over.
tap in, like,
one
and subscribe.
city at
We'll
a
be right back.
time. All right, peace out.
One city at a time.